Hello, welcome to Greg's Channel 1. I'm Greg, and this is Channel 1. So, this is a review for My Only Sunshine by MJ Fleming, read by Merphy Napier. It's my audiobook series. I'm going to be doing videos of me enjoying audiobooks and giving you my opinions on them, whether they be good, bad, or indifferent. So, I'm going to run down how I'm going to be doing this review. I'm going to talk about who the main important characters are and doing everything I can to avoid spoilers on why they're important to the story, the main premise for what the story is, the wins for the audiobook, the losses for the audiobook, give you my opinion at the end, and then I'll let you get on and enjoy the rest of your day. So, let's dive right in. Let's start with the premise of the story. So, My Only Sunshine by MJ Fleming is a book about Taylor Cormier. Taylor Cormier was abducted and many shady things were done to her for 40 days, 5 years previous to this story beginning. She is still trying to cope with everything and is taking a different approach to how others would perceive an idea to go through. That is the basic premise. It's a thriller, so we are trying to find out who it was that kidnapped her. And yeah, that's kind of the main story, is, who is this elusive Jacob? And the cops are onto it. And we find out more about it through Taylor encountering her therapist, who helps her tap into her past memories. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to risk spoilers. So, let's dive into the important characters for this book. We have Taylor Cormier. She is the main character who we are following the story mainly from. We have Layla, her best friend. James, another friend. He's important in another way, but that's for once you get into the story and you start going through it. We have Sarah Cormier, who is Taylor's mother. Richard Cormier, who is her father, who at this point has been dead for 3 years. We have Andy Fisher and Detective Knight. Those two are the police force behind the case of catching Jacob. We have Peter, who is a new kid at school, or it seems that he's a new kid at school. Jacob himself. Dr. Perno, the therapist. Patrick and Rodney. I cannot tell you why those guys are important because that will be spoiling, so we'll leave those there. And Kristen Gregor. Kristen Gregor is a girl that became friends with Taylor, who also went through a similar experience. Dr. Perno is obviously the therapist. Jacob is the antagonist. And Peter is one of those characters who is, important to the story for the fact that he is constantly trying to almost build bonds with Taylor. That's the first two parts. Let's dive into the wins and losses for the book. So, we'll start with the losses because I want to get the sad stuff out of the way. I don't want to think about that once I've got it out of my system. Okay. The point of view shifts. Changing the character point of view is a little bit jarring at times. And I think that hopefully MJ Fleming has learned how to tighten that up and make it not feel so jarring. Because it doesn't... She didn't quite get it right, or I didn't feel she got it right, in my experience. One thing you will learn with Jacob is he had an accomplice with him that seemed to be being nice to Taylor without helping her too much. The reveal for that character, for me, was too obvious, and I got it quite quickly. So that that let me down a little bit because of how quickly I worked it out. Slight spoiler: Dr. Perno drops off by the third act, which is the last 2.5, 3 hours of the story. About the last 2.5 hours. It's about 9 hours in audiobook form. Yeah, about 10 hours. The third act is easily the weakest of the 3 parts. Act 1 and 2 are great. All pretty much nearly faultless apart from the point of view shifting. Knight and Andy Fisher, they become relatively superfluous. They aren't massively important by the end. But that's also a minor spoiler. Only a minor one, because we're not really following them. We're following Taylor. So, the wins. Let's jump into happy things that I enjoyed. The narrator does a superb job. I think Merphy Napier does a solid job and made me want to hear more of her work as a narrator. Because for me, as someone who suffers with dyslexia, reading can be quite hard, so audiobooks make it a little bit easier for me to enjoy. And the narrator makes or breaks it for me. If I don't connect with the narrator, it doesn't matter how good the book is, I'm done. But if the narrator gets it and seems to know how to lure you in and hold you, like Merphy Napier did with this, I am putty in the author's hands. I will sit through it all, even if I end up not enjoying the story at the end, because the narrator is that good. That's just me. The main character, Taylor, is very, very likeable. I found myself liking her the entire time and sympathising with her practically the entire time. I don't think there's a single time where I don't sympathise or empathise with her. No, I don't think there is. The Jacob reveal was very good. It caught me off guard. I don't tend to get caught off guard by twists in thrillers. Normally they don't catch me off guard. This one caught me off guard, and maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the side characters, etc., etc. But it caught me off guard, and it was done, and the reveal was done very well. The reveal itself for the character who was the accomplice was done very well, but to me it felt too obvious who it was going to be, and I was proved right. But the reveal itself was done very, very well, because the way that another big win was that MJ Fleming, she built tension very well in this story. She kept you interested the entire time, while slowly reeling you in. She was like a fisher lady, just going ding 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 ding, and I took the bait, and I was done. The characters are very, very well realised. You know who you like, you know who you don't. But that being said, she changed my opinion on a character who I didn't particularly like initially, which was the best friend, Layla. Layla irritated me right at the start, but in the build up to the second act, I really liked her, and then by the third act, yeah, I liked her by the end. So, well done, Fleming. You did a very, very good job. So, those are my thoughts on the highs, the lows, and now let's give my thoughts on rating. Now, anyone that knows my channel well enough or knows how I've been trying to plan all this knows that I rank things from 1 to 5. This was a 3.8. It was very close to being a 4, but certain elements dropping off and certain things just pushed me just off that 4 out of 5 stars. But Very, very good book. And I look forward to the next thing that MJ Fleming does. And I'm looking forward to hearing another audiobook read by Merphy Napier. She has a YouTube channel. I'm going to post her YouTube thing so you can go over and you can subscribe and enjoy her great content because she's amazing. Nothing else really to say. So that was my opinion. What was yours? Have you encountered the book? Have you read it? Have you encountered the audiobook? If you have, drop your opinions down in the comment section below. Click like, subscribe, share, bell, all the other cool things you can do. And if you're now interested in giving the book a go, tell them that Greg sent you. See you later, guys. Cheers, and see you next time.